The following is a first-hand eyewitness report of the events that happened 3 weeks ago in Manhattan. Some readers may find the following report disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
It's been 10 years since I've been to the big city, but boy, let me tell you, there are some strange things that happen there. I've been there probably about 3 or 4 times in my life, and every time I come back home, I come home with a story to tell. The time was probably the strangest of all. You see, us country folk don't really have much to talk about other than spreading cow shit on our crops and fucking our cousins, you know? So to me at least, this is quite a story. You see, it all started with me and the missus getting invited to some fancy suits wedding, right? I don't know the fella too well, but I think he is a friend of the family or something. After taking the plane up to New York and all that shit and getting all our luggage together, we headed off to the Manhattan in a cab. The guy hosting the wedding was pretty wealthy, so we got reservations to a real nice hotel in Upper Manhattan. Man, I gotta say, I just riding down those streets of that town makes me confused. Sometimes you see the supped up cars driving in down the road, and at the same time, you will see a group of homeless men walking around heckling folks for money. This place just makes no goddamn sense. Back home at the prairie is simple. I feel like some kind of damn foreigner in the city. I hate foreigners. The folks in this city are all quite like they don't want to talk to you unless they have to. Even my taxi driver all acts queer. I said to him, "Howdy." He said back to me, all computer-like and all, "Fine. Just tell me where you're trying to go." The folks back home are so much nicer. But what you gonna do? At the hotel, things were real nice. I was surprised not to see stains and blood over the walls like at the hotel back home. They even had this fancy box thing that you step into and it lifts you up and down from different floors. Crazy like these brainiac science folks come up with nowadays. We were real high in the building. The missus said it was a 52nd floor or something like that. I'm not too sure. After all, I can't even count that high. Here's where things get interesting. You see, we all out here scenic view as some queer manager that told me it was called when we all of a sudden massive slong floated down from space. I wasn't too sure what was going on, but I wasn't gonna question it. I ain't exactly from around here after all. The scrotum encompassed these megalodon balls that were probably about as big as a football stadium each. Each hair on these balls was probably the thickness of a steel cable, I betcha. Shoot! Don't even get me started on the shaft. That thing stretched for miles, you know? There were veins all over that son of a bitch. It was real mean looking if you know what I'm saying. This baby was a certified circumcised megalodon schlong. Just when I thought the world was on a hippie drug, they had those damn teenagers always smoking in my barnyard. The damn thing started shooting out Mickey White juice. This was one freaky thing at this point. I knew this wasn't some normal occurrence. It was shooting out cum all over the streets of Manhattan. Central Park was more like Central Pool. You could watch as cum slowly drip down the sides of the skyscrapers. Luckily, me and the missus were out of harm's way because the cocks seemed to be targeting downtown in central Manhattan. I watched it all as hot, steamy liquid cum ran down the streets and alleyways from above, sort of like a miniature tsunami. At least I think that's what I think big waves are called. You could see people melting the stuff. God damn, it was hot and oozing. Folks were being mutilated by the sheer heat of this cum. I could see the cars melt as the cum soaked them up. The whole thing probably should have been disturbing to me, but I actually found this quite arousing. As me and the missus watched, I couldn't help but grab her ass and fondle it. I was what some may call rock hard.
And back to you, Ricky Bobby.
It's been 10 years since I've been to the big city, but boy, let me tell you, there are some strange... Fuck, you restart it.
In light of what happened to Manhattan...
Good. Started. Okay.
And back to you, Ricky Bobby.
Manhattan.
Some viewers may find the following report disturbing. Start over.
And at the same time, you will see a group of homeless men walking around heckling folks for money. This place just makes no goddamn sense.
I
I
know.
ain't exactly from around here after all. The scrotum encompassed these massive megalodon balls. Megalodon balls.
Bap 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 deep bap 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 bap.